And then I was like, I told you before, right? I went to Penang like last 2 years.
Yeah.
Last year.
Mm.
And then they have like this spot, or this is like what you call it? Penang walk something. Walk, Fringy
Walk.
walk, yeah.
The Fringy market.
And then it was at the time still raining, and then like there's nothing here, man. I mean, there's stories, and there's like cafe there.
Which year was this?
Last year.
Last year
we have like this company trip. Yeah. And it was like, that was like, I think that was the second time I went to Penang. I think
you went there was nothing. What time was it?
I don't know, but I think it's around time. If you time is around 12-ish.
Afternoon. Midnight. Oh, dah mati.
Wow. I thought it's something that
because was it a weekday or weekend?
Saturday, I guess.
Oh, Saturday pun dah mati no, Fringy Walk. Yeah, because last time when I went, I mean, usually people go around after 8 to around 11. I mean, too late night lah.
Yeah, but I thought it's something like the place that hidup waktu malam.
Yes, right.
There's a lot of places in Malaysia is there, but I was like, this is the only Fringy Walk? And then we went there, and then just 7-Eleven convenience store, buy some Colgate sebab terlupa bawa, and then just everything, and then I went out. That's it.
Malam.
Like, oh, come on. You can't do that. Sure.
Yeah, Penang used to be malam one stay active.
Yeah. So I still remember that when we first met, right? You said that you're from Nipong Tebal, and then I think I couldn't run from. I mean, my housemate is on Penang. Like one of the few closest friends is Penang, and a lot of them are like smart people, and I don't want to just put stereotype there. That someone from Penang is always smart. But the first time, I still remember that the first time I met you, you're sitting at the corner. If you remember, I think I told you this story.
Where was it? In you?
Yeah. 2014 is like exactly 11 years ago. Not exactly.
Oh yeah, diploma.
Yeah. You're sitting at the top right, in front, in the right corner, and then you with your laptop, and then you're all black with the jackets and shoes and everything, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you never. This is the thing that I will remember for the rest of my life. You never get the cursor with a freaking joystick.
Yeah.
What's the idea behind it? How do you discover that?
Because I believe this will be in diploma. The reason I was using my gamepad as a cursor.
The middle camera, yeah. Just in case you wonder.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, I was using my gamepad as a cursor because I have that set up in the dorm room. The dorm room, our TSN room.
Yeah. Oh, I still remember.
We would have the laptop by our bedside, but not directly on the bed. So I used that, the long wire of the controller to basically skip to the next next video. Yeah. Basically from while also lying down.
So how? I mean, like, did you discover that by chance, or like? I think I remember that you mentioned that you have a brother, right?
Yeah, I do.
Like he told you everything, or he taught you everything, or you just figure things out?
Oh no, I figured that out because I've always been the IT guy for the families, and like mostly because of my gaming interest.
Understandable.
Yeah. So I just bought a controller primarily used for gaming, but I also discovered that if you set it up, it can be used as just another input device.
Wow.
So I used it in a way to control the cursor. So during presentations, I think back then I don't think my controller was wireless, right? Back then, because back then wireless technology wasn't.
Yeah, it was still.
Yeah. So yeah, basically it was just easier to, more casual to navigate between slides because you could set it to go forward or go back. I mean, you could just go and buy, some professional clickers for presentation, but we were in U. Why would we want?
Yeah.
Our presentations are like, twice a semester. So at least this I can go and get with in the spare time.
So were you exposed to device at early age?
Devices.
How does it start? I mean, like in general, like your fascination, if I could put that way out, fascination for technology. How does it start? Do you like watch your brother on playing games, and then you just, I mean, like, a lot of stories has originated from there. And then like I watched my older brother playing games, and then I sneak into his room, play his game, and then suddenly become more better than him or something like that. There's a lot of stories like that. But yeah, just curious about yours.
I would say, okay, my family, well, I'm the youngest. My brother is the eldest of the family, and yeah, he does game. And from the longest I could remember, we've always had a gaming console, starting with the PS1. But I think I was so young back then that my brain isn't even developed to, actually process, oh, this is a game, this is the technology behind the game.
Yeah.
It's just button mashing and looking at the funny guy go on the screen. Like, oh. But then after the PS2 came out, I think a few years after it came out, yeah, my dad bought the PS2 because he sometimes games as well.
Oh, that's rare.
Yeah, he likes scary games, I think. He used to play. Oh yeah, I think it was on the. It didn't exist back then. This is before.
Okay.
There's this horror game where the basis is Japanese developed. Where the basis is a sister is looking for their relatives or someone inside a abandoned haunted mansion.
Yeah.
And the way you navigate the mansion is by, you're slowly walking as a normal teenage girl would. But when you hear ghosts and you can see them crawling in the screen, but when you want to fight them, you have to take a picture through your old-time camera so that the flash would hit the ghost and scare them away. So that would make it seem that if you want to fight the ghost, you have to look at it. And how creepy it is. And I think it's called Fatal Frame. Yeah, my dad loves to play that back then. And then from then PS2 games are this general GTA, everything. I explored that. And then, of course, being a little, I guess before teenager, all of the kids would go to the cyber cafes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm guessing because of the mee goreng.
It's fine. What's about the cyber cafe then?
Yeah, cyber cafes. And sometimes I think back then my brother and my sister both went to asrama school.
Yeah.
So they would have to go. Sometimes some weekends they went home.
Yeah.
So sometimes I had to follow my parents to work, and because I was quite kecoh as a kid.
Yeah.
Sometimes my mom would just leave me at the CC just to not trouble her at work.
All right, stay there.
Yeah, stay there.
Stay there for like full day.
Yeah, I mean working hours a day, like 8 hours basically full day. For a kid. I mean, for a teenager, not a kid. I don't think my mom would. My mom was still a good parent. Yeah, so that's where I discovered PC gaming. I still had no technical understanding of it. Like I didn't know what it takes to run. I would always just assume if I see it on the desktop, I could play it.
Yeah.
I don't know about the technical specs. So I think the first game, those were the standard games back then, like Counter-Strike, Half-Life, Prototype. I remember Prototype. You remember Prototype?
I don't know.
There was one time where I remember all the cyber cafes were really into Prototype. Oh, Dead Island, the zombie game. When that came out, I remember a lot of people playing it. And because of how CCs are structured, you can't have a save file or anything. So everyone would just keep playing the first chapter over and over again.
The first chapter.
It's a single player.
Yeah.
You're supposed to play the whole game, right? But because of CCs, that's the way they are.
Yeah, CC actually is good for multiplayer games.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you can build like the whole row for your 5v5, like if you have the whole community,
Back during degree, you weren't there anymore, but Overwatch really popped off.
Yeah, I've heard about Overwatch.
I think around 2017.
Mm-mm.
So a lot of the guys in U, they were also into Overwatch.
Mhm.
And back then I was really into basically after class, everything I would just
Mm-mm.
play the game. I was really good.
I mean, I have no doubt. So I have zero doubt about that. Okay, and then
And then sometimes I remember I think it was like around 6 of us or 5 of us. We all just wanted 6. We wanted to go to a CC to experience that nostalgia of going to a CC and playing Counter Strike with friends. So we went there to play Overwatch. And we went there. I mean, we heard that this CC in Batu Pahat had like 120 hertz screens, which were at the time 2017 was slightly uncommon compared to now. I think everyone has 144.
I have 144 though.
Yeah, everyone has 144 now. Back then, the reason why I was so good back then is because my monitor, even during 2017, was 180 hertz.
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh, that's the advantage coming from.
yeah.
So it's not entirely from you. I'll take back. I'll take that back.
Yeah, it does give you a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Especially when everyone else at the time was still running 60 on average. I mean, it's not to say that just because someone is running 60 and you're running 180, you're instant win. Because even now, I play Fortnite and sometimes I lose to kids on a Switch.
Bro, it's kids. They have a
On a
reflex.
Nintendo
They have
Switch.
a reflex of a cat, you know.
I have a like ultra wide monitor now, and I still lose. I mean, of course. But I think it was a few seasons ago, Fortnite introduced a new mode, and I pushed that in rank. Oh, I'm on a tangent, I think. But yeah, I got into top 500 in the world.
Seriously?
Yeah, in that new game mode. And then the next season came in on the same game mode. I ate the floor.
Why?
I think it got a lot more popular, so the the skill ceiling shot up tremendously. So in the end, I just stopped playing because I'm working now. So when the main reason I play Fortnite also with our friend Bobo is because there's a lot of kids and a lot of people who don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
So you don't have to sweat it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's enjoyable. What was I on? Oh yeah, I was talking
about your upbringing, and then suddenly it goes to Fortnite and you're top 500 in the world. It's fine. It's fine. So I mean, just a quick one I want to throw out there. So you enjoy multiplayer more rather than a single player, or you take that as like a different, different kind of game, and you just kind of enjoy both, or do you have any preference?
I think it's very different. For me, since I mentioned Overwatch earlier, multiplayer has always been about actually just like in the CC, between friends. I don't do it alone. I barely push rank or play any online game alone. Now, especially now. Back then, maybe lah. Because even back then in 2017 Overwatch, because it was so popular, I had friends from all over the same server, Southeast Asia. Have I mentioned that one time where we were so good at Overwatch? My friend group back then, online friend group, we had people from Singapore, Philippines, Thailand. Surprisingly, no Indonesians. But in my friend group lah. And we got into a Harvey Norman tournament hosted in Singapore. And we were
LAN.
No, not LAN. At first, I mean, technically the end would be a LAN, but for qualifying it was just online.
Oh yeah.
So we could manage our group. We were so good back then that we had high hopes that our team could push through and win. I don't know, a fridge from Harvey Norman.
Fridge?
I mean, Harvey Norman hosted the tournament.
I just want
it's not like a
prize pool or something. 1 million. Come on, man. Give.
That's
all right.
Official Overwatch tournament kind of prize pool. Yeah. But yeah, this was just a small, just Singapore Harvey Norman trying to ride the wave of the Overwatch hype. And for online games, I make a lot of friends. I still am in contact. I have this friend who plays support
Mm-hmm.
in back then, 2017. She is a really good Mercy, a support character. If you don't know,
Oh, yeah.
she
Oh, yeah.
basically a support heals.
Oh, yeah,
teammates, right?
yeah.
Now she's a doctor, an actual support person. She's a doctor in Australia at the moment. She's from the Philippines. She used to be, but she moved to Australia. I think a few years ago. So yeah, her support.
So yeah, so it's just that bro, that gaming is never like really in the way, of someone's, you can say, career or
Yeah,
whatever. But you
definitely.
can't
It depends
really,
on how the person treats the game.
yeah,
Like
if you just go around run and gun without understanding it, and it's not like I want just to sit here and promote to like the young people out there, right, to play games and like abandon your study and whatnot.
yeah.
So it's just you need to understand how to because playing games, even though I play Counter-Strike a lot, and that's I think the only multiplayer games that I could play then, now, and forever. And it trains you when in a chaotic position, in a chaotic situation, that you need to remain calm. Like our intuition when we got flash and then we just scream and die and was swearing, right? And then like the first thing that you need to train yourself is when you die, you need to tell how many of the enemy there. How did you die? Whether it's an AWP, whether it's a USP, so you just want to discover their economy, right? Do they have an AWP? Do they have a sniper or whatever, AKs and everything? So it's just, I think it just trains you, and also especially being an in-game leader, right? I think that's much more, like really, really hard, and people don't really,
it trains you to communicate effectively.
Yeah, and we just short sentence.
Yeah, you cut out the fluff. You give the direct, the needed information.
Even there's a difference between rush B and B rush. Rush B and we, as a terrorist, rush B. B rush, they are rushing us. Rush B, we are rushing them. So just a small, things like that. But looking at the catalog now, I mean, like modern games, I'm not sure. I don't want to put timeline on where modern games and where traditional games are, because we are old. So I think like 2017 onwards, can say modern. You agree with that, or?
I think, it depends on the landscape. If you're talking about online games, I find that they haven't changed at all. Like we're still playing the same online games that we have been 2017. Counter-Strike Go. Okay, you're now playing CS2.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Apex Legends. Well, it's still Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2. Same thing, except -1 character. It's still the same. Dota 2.
And that legend is still there forever. So I think actually I want to ask, like, what are the difference between like the landscape now for the game, and also I think this applies more to the single games, storyline game. I think I'm not sure, but because there's a difference between movie now and movie back then, right? In terms of delivery and whatever. Now it's more on the message and everything, pushing agenda here and there. But as I can say gamer, so do you see like any difference between the games back then, especially on the story mode? Is it getting better or is it getting worse? Or
for me, because I tend to avoid the games that I find lacking in terms of quality. I only play whatever I think.
How do you know it lacks in quality if you didn't play at all?
Yeah, how do I know? Well, there's of course YouTube. You can watch that reviewing. I mean, it's not that I won't try something without.
I'll probably come closer to the.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's not that I won't try something without hearing someone else's opinion. But yeah, to me now, I'm much of a single player gamer. But I guess the majority of my time is co-op gaming, because I game with my wife.
Ooh, she plays game too?
Yeah, she does. And
regularly, or?
Yeah, regularly.
Oh, well. So you have 2 PC at home?
Yeah, I do. I built one just for her. It's pink. It's pink. Everything's pink. The monitor's pink. The keyboard's pink.
Wow.
The mouse pink.
Really?
Yeah, everything's.
The mouse pad is pink.
The mouse is pink. The motherboard isn't pink, because a pink motherboard is expensive as heck.
So you don't change the, what you call it, the keyboard, the keypad wasn't
the key
pink.
switch.
The key switch. I think you can just custom one.
Yeah, we
Tapi
just
ada
changed the
bunyi lain,
keycap.
kata-kata
Yeah.
gede-gede.
The keycap, I mean, the keyboard itself is silver, metal silver, but the keycap, we just change it to a pink one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, she likes lights. My setup, I have no lights at all. But when I was building her PC, I didn't want it to be something that of my taste. So I said it's a gift to her. So build it her way, full pink, cute, small, and yeah, it can run the games that she runs.
Where was this?
Huh?
Where was this?
When was? Hey,
No. Where was this?
where?
I thought like my question was different back then. Why we were talking about pink?
Oh yeah, we were talking about single player
My
environment
goodness.
for games.
This happens every time I talk to you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the first actual PC game that got me into PC gaming was Skyrim. That was back in 2011. That was a single player game, open world. It was one of the first few open worlds that actually was true open, as in like this is actually quoted a lot. You see that mountain, you can go to that mountain.
Oh.
That's the open world concept. At the time, it was
So it's not just a background where you can just walk.
You can ride your horse up there to the mountain. There's nothing there, but like you can do it.
Yeah, that's the concept. That's the best concept of open world.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then I played on the family computer back then. I didn't have my own personal gaming PC. It was just a regular office computers. There's no integrated dedicated graphics card. But then back then I didn't know anything about frame rate. Like if the image is choppy, I couldn't tell because back then I was just a kid. I didn't even play competitively, and especially Skyrim. You could put mods on, and the more mods you put, the heavier the game becomes.
Yeah.
So you could crash the PC. And then in 2017, I actually built 16. I built my PC to play a single player game that I read while collecting money to save up for a PC. I read all the novels the game was based on. It's called The Witcher. The Witcher 3 came out back then.
I think I've heard it.
Yeah, it was widely regarded as the best RPG to date at that time. And yeah, while I was collecting the money, I read all the novels. I think it was 6 novels at the time of the backstory of the character. And after saving a few, I managed to build a 1070 rig, a GTX 1070 PC, gaming PC that could handle Witcher 3 at 1080p 60 max settings.
Yeah.
And then single player games. Witcher 3 was the gold standard for a lot of people for quite a while. I think for RPG lovers.
What are the metrics?
The metrics
or how could you define that? Okay, this is like the benchmark for it. Like, is it like the solely based on experience, or based on the interactions, or based on whatever the hell you can do inside with there's no limit? What are the metrics for when you say that this game is the best game up to date?
Up to then, the reason why it worked so well was one, of course, for any game, the most important part is the actual gameplay mechanics, the fighting, the system, the RPG elements of how you choose to build your character differently from, let's say, another person might do. But I think one of the main reasons why a game would stick with people is how quality the story is. How good the writing and the narrative is. If a game is fun, but it doesn't have a story, it's fun to play for a while, but then you'll forget it. That's why I read up on the novels, and it's an extensive lore behind the character and behind the universe for the game developers to expand on. I mean, there's Witcher 1 and 2, but Witcher 3 basically made it so that if you read the books, or even if you haven't read, of course, you can play it and understand the story. But if you read the books, you get the sense that they took into detail every single note the original author wrote about the story. Plus, it's a very interesting setting because it's about fighting ghosts, basically, like creatures of the night, not really, that's vampires, right? But from the Polish folklore. So it's fun to see what.
But you could learn as well some Polish folklore. When was the last time that you had the chance to learn about Polish folklore in a fun way, right?
Yeah, it's fun to see. Like sometimes you see similarities between the mythical creatures of people there and people here.
Yeah.
Like there's always a screaming vampire.
Yeah.
There's always a people of the woods kind of.
Do they have a long-haired lady in white?
I mean, technically they do, but it's not really in white. She's fully nude, but like long hair.
Okay.
Same concept.
That remember me of Left 4 Dead. The witch.
Oh yeah, the crying witch lady.
Yeah.
Turn off your flashlight.
Yeah. I just purposely shoot at it, so they didn't run away. My friend, she won't chase those who shot them, right? So just chase.
She does.
No, I think I shot her once, and then she just ran straight to I don't know who.
Oh,
but not me.
I think she does get aggroed onto the person who does.
I think because I was far away, and then like my friend.
Oh, and then they was closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, right. Okay, I just want to throw this out there because there's a lot of debate. Not really debate. Is conversations about which is which, Nvidia or AMD. And why?
Now.
Yeah.
Okay, for context, now Nvidia has the 5000 series and AMD has the 9000 series. It used to be, even as an IT guy, that but sometimes, for context, I used to sell custom PCs for a while. For context, it's very easy for someone to recommend Nvidia to a layman or someone who just wants to get into gaming because of how usually untroublesome it is to actually use. You just update the drivers and then you can go. But now with the 5000 series, there's been a lot of problems with the Nvidia drivers.
Such as?
Maybe because Nvidia got too rich from the AI boom. Because it used to be known that AMD drivers were always a bit of a pain, and I mean, it's still kind of is a bit slower compared to Nvidia in terms of when a new game releases. Nvidia is really fast at having a dedicated driver for that specific game, especially if it's big. But for AMD, the release cycle is usually once a month, so you have to rely on the. It's not that it won't work on those games. It's just not optimized fully for those games. But now, since RTX 5000 series have been having driver issues, it's been a bit of a
setback. No,
I mean, it's ironic because it used to be AMD, the one that people are complaining about drivers. But now it's the other way around. People are saying they're buying new cards and they're getting black screens.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is, people are saying because Nvidia maybe got too competent with how they're ruling the market share.
Yeah.
For the most part. But I mean, as a consumer, it doesn't matter Nvidia or AMD. What matters is always the performance to price and the value you get for your money.
Yeah.
If sometimes Nvidia has certain features that you might use, but AMD, let's say for instance, I think what they're pushing now is frame generation, where they use AI to.
What's that actually?
Okay, imagine you're running a very demanding game at 4K and your PC.
Hogwarts Legacy?
I mean, that's
okay.
Slightly demanding, but not really that. It is. So your PC is capable of getting around 30 frames. If you turn on this frame generation feature, which existed for the 4000 series, but with this 5000 series, they're having it at, I think, 4 times LFG, they're calling it. Or FG. I'm sorry, I don't know what LFG is. Looking for group. So basically, if you're running at 30 with frame generation on, you'd get 60. But if you're running on 5000 series on 30, you turn on the 4x. It basically is 4 times your FPS. So it becomes 120.
Ah.
But only 30 of those 120 frames are real, rastered by your PC. The others are interpolated by the AI algorithm that NVIDIA developed to assume what would happen in that frame. From a gameplay perspective,
Mhm.
because I have a 4000 series card,
Mhm.
I've tried frame generation,
Mhm.
and the online consensus is a lot of people are complaining about it being fake frames. It's not real.
Mhm.
I find that it's actually quite believable, and you don't really see the issue with it, especially if you play at a higher resolution like 4K.
Yeah.
You tend to notice the fluidity of having your frame rate basically double more than any sort of artifact that might happen from the AI trying to assume the frames. So yeah, frame generation could be good. I mean, some people, I mean, if you play online games, if you play competitive, you definitely don't use it because
Yeah.
yeah,
Lag and so on. They contribute to lag in
input lag.
some way.
I'm not sure the actual. Yeah, I'm not too certain if it probably does, but it's not noticeable for single player.
Mhm.
But yeah, for actual competitive online playing, yeah, the input lag alone, and also the fact that it's made up, like it's
Yeah.
not real. Maybe if when you're in a competitive scene, each frame is very important, like to determine what to do next, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but for an untrained eye, like could you really spot the difference though
between
between the whether it's just a fake frame or not?
no, the
So
difference is
how does those onliners that how could they been bugged by it? I mean, other than the fact that they know it's actually frame, it's actually AI, but when you play without knowing it, like what, how does it that bug them? Like why it worries them so much?
because it lets Nvidia scam people more. Because Nvidia can charge a lot more money for less performance
Ah,
in a given
I don't
product. If you
know.
compare back then, when the 1000 series came out, it was a significant leap compared to the. I mean, it wasn't the 700 series to the 900 was a good leap, and the 900 to 1000 was also a good leap.
Mm.
So the difference between generations felt meaningful, significant, where people would say, hey, it's worth the extra money.
Mhm.
But now, the difference between 4000 and 5000 is very minute. I mean, it's not, there is an improvement, but it's not worth the jump if you're from 4000 to go to 5000,
Just
except for them artificially locking that 4x frame generation
uh-huh.
to only the 5000 series cards. So even if you have a 4000 series cards, you can only use 1x, I mean 2x frame generation.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not them just artificially locking it. There's specific cores or something that would be needed to actually run it. But still, people aren't satisfied with them charging more of the same for more of the same performance after what? How many years? 2 years of yeah.
I mean, the falling iPhone, I guess,
Yeah.
every single year. So, I mean, I've learned a lot of you, from you, over the years, and also, you, and I think I need to mention Akil as well. One of the first two people, I'm not sure which one of you did it first, that introduced me. But they're actually a Google Pixel phone, and at that time I didn't know. And then I hang out with Akil once, and then he showed me his Google Pixel, and it's kind of quite fascinating for me. And then I met you, and then at that time you told me that this is much worth than iPhone in terms of quality, speeches, and
Because I bought it
yeah,
secondhand.
yeah. But still, do you still now in 2025? Do you still stand with that, or where do you see like the markets going on? Is Google Pixel still like should be as well known as iPhone, or how do you compare both?
Oh, back then,
You're still using it now, right?
I'm
Is it?
using a Pixel 5, but I
Yeah.
actually have an opinion about that. Back then, when I first started getting into pixels, it was around 2018, I think. It was
Who told you that actually? Or you just search it for yourself?
about the pixel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just a MKB HD video back then, something going over the camera of the Pixel 1.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a fan of slightly smaller phones. I don't like it to be that big because I like to use
Can
it
you
one
compare
handed.
the size?
Yeah. I think, the Pixel
Wow.
5 is around it's about the size of an iPhone
Compared to my
regular.
Android.
Yeah, iPhone non-Pro, or non-Max.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Pixel 2 at the time, the camera was really amazing.
Mhm.
Like, the camera was one of the reasons why I was popular back in uni, because after class, girls would
Oh, okay.
ask me to take their photos of the sunset behind them.
Yeah.
things like that.
It works well in a less light condition, right?
Yeah, there's night sight back then. I mean, if you compare to even the cheapest phone now, of course, camera technology, it has gotten cheaper. But back then, actually, the main reason that I really started being a fan of Pixels was that they offered unlimited Google photo storage for
Seriously?
any photo or any media on your Pixel device.
Do they have limit for iOS Cloud? Though?
I mean, you have to. It has to be on the Pixel device or the Pixel 2.
No. I mean, for iPhone, they store the pictures on cloud as well, right?
Oh, for iPhone users.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always been a limit. I mean, like
Unlimited.
a cap.
Oh, there's cap.
Yeah,
Like what,
there's-
500 gig?
you have to buy to get 500 plus. I'm not sure the baseline amount, but even Google itself, if you're not using a Pixel 5 and below,
Yeah.
you have to pay for Google One to
But
get
only when
storage.
you have a Pixel, you have unlimited.
Only when you used to have a Pixel 2, 3, 4, or 5. They stopped it after 5.
La.
That's why I'm stuck. Yeah. And whoever has a Pixel 1, that's the most advantageous because they have unlimited storage at original quality. Meaning, what you upload in your phone, it gets stored in Google servers for free for a lifetime, right? Without having to pay any subscription fee. And because of that, secondhand prices, if you can even find some Pixel ones, are like more than double of what a Pixel 2 would cost. Because Pixel 2 doesn't have that original quality. It has the compressed, but it's still unlimited storage. But it's still not the original high def quality storage. I mean, you won't, for a casual user, between storage saver and original quality, you don't really notice the difference. The compression algorithm isn't like WhatsApp.
That's worse, man. That's worse. So why did they discontinue it after 5?
Because it didn't make them any money.
Ah.
Of course, imagine, okay, someone like,
money,
if I nowadays don't really take a lot of photos. Maybe they just probably work screenshots and all that in my own gallery. But still, because of the unlimited upload, I can just back them up to the cloud and access it from or any of my devices by just going into my Google Photos. So for me, I guess because I'm not someone who games on their phone, I'm not someone who uses camera anymore as much.
Okay.
I use it to listen to Spotify in the car. I'm of course will text people. Even then, I'm such a slow texter.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I vouch on it. I can vouch on it.
Sometimes a reply takes me 3 to 5 business days.
Yeah.
I also just use it to navigate Waze and Google Maps, just the basic necessities. And so because of that, whenever I see a new phone, of course, this is from me using a Pixel 5, I don't feel the need or the excitement, especially since this Pixel 5 to me still feels like new, given what I've been doing with it. Because this came out in 2019, 2020? To me, that still feels like just a few years ago.
Yeah.
What advancement in technology is there that would make me be like, wow, I need to upgrade. I don't feel like, yeah, that's the one thing I've noticed about being an IT person, an actual IT person.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people who are not as knowledgeable in IT, but they would be so caught up in the hype of getting the newest and latest every single year.
Yeah, props to the marketing team, man.
Yeah.
Raise them salaries.
Because if you're in IT, I mean, you truly go into the specs of, let's say, just a computer, or even like you say, a graphics card. You watch it, you look at the actual performance and the value you get from it for your money. You just don't just blindly throw your finances away just to get whatever the latest is. You look at, is this thing valuable to me? Because if you don't, there's always no limit to what you can spend, and also next year you're gonna get replaced anyway.
Yeah.
So if you haven't experienced being left behind 3 months after you just bought a major purchase, then I mean, try keep on buying the newest and latest. I mean, it still depends on the value. I mean, I see I think my phone almost gave out a few months ago, and back then I actually almost wanted to convert to Apple.
Okay.
Because at the time, the iPhone SE wasn't out yet, the newest one. And how Apple marketed that SE kind of fit the vibe that I was looking for in a phone. It's not something you use for camera. It's just a workhorse that you use every single day for minor tasks. But then it came out and it was the 16E, and it didn't have MagSafe. So I stopped that.
Didn't have MagSafe?
MagSafe. You know, Apple's flagship technology of, being able to dock your phone on a charger.
Oh, yeah.
And it magnetically aligns so that the wireless charging hits every single time. Unlike Android, if you just put it in slightly wrong, and then you wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, it's not charged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's MagSafe. I think that's very useful for a feature. And Android has a somewhat similar feature. It's called G2. I think they have magnets, but I don't think there's like 1 or 2 models that actually implement the magnet. So what Android users have to do is find cases that have so-called magnetic rings.
Yeah. What do you think the phone and this technology is going to be for the next 5 years? Because the way, I think after 2010, 2012, if you could stretch it out that way, the jump that we have from back then to now, whether it's gaming, whether it's cars, whether it's phones, even smartwatch, there's so crazy, I just don't have that words to describe it, how much we have jumped back then. So do you think like the next 5 years we have like everything all in one device or something crazy like that? Or have you ever thought about it?
No, I am quite pessimistic in that regard, because I find that the advancement have been slowing down. Like I said, compared to a 2020 phone and 2025, what is there that's really different that makes it worth the jump? Because I know last year it was the AI boom of marketing. Everyone wants to say their phone has AI and it can read your email and it could edit your photos.
Okay. Wow, I couldn't edit my photos previously on my phone. Yeah, wow, that's really fascinating. Go ahead.
So I feel like they're they're gasping at straws for something to innovate in that field specifically. But I think personally, I use AI, but not in that context where I need it. Sure, if there is an email that comes in and I have no care to read it, I might ask the AI to read it for me. But even then, I'll probably still read it to make sure.
True.
But it's not a feature that I'm from like, wow, this is so different to what I'm used to. It's the same for cars as well, for me even. technology to me seems to be getting stale. Like the advancements each year haven't been improving in a drastic way to compare to say, like you said, a phone back in 2014 compared to a 2020 phone, or you can feel the jump, right? But then it's, I think, what's the term? I think it's Moore's law or something. Where I forgot how to explain it.
I mean, we
basically,
there's nothing else we can improve.
Yeah, the improvement seem to be minute, and the prices haven't been okay. I like advancement in technology if it brings the price down, or it brings a used to be expensive feature to slightly more affordable markets. In cars, sometimes you see that. You see that if you compare to a few years ago, 10 years ago, if you want to get, let's say, what's a hot feature? I would say remote start, but I don't like remote start in my cars. I like having it.
Remote start, what? You starting with the phone or?
I mean, that's one, but I mean the baseline of it, of having the key fob in your pocket and you press the start button, push the start. Yeah, that's
why you don't like it?
Why don't I like it?
Yeah,
because it relies on technology. I mean, electricity. If you put your key in, there's less things to go wrong. I mean, like if you have your key, you turn it on, it works. It starts the starter. But if it's an electronic system, there's more things you could go wrong with.
Yeah.
I mean, the system is widely used now, so I bet the engineers have already fixed most of the problems with that. But if you compare a Saga, say, from 2016 compared to now 2025, what differences in technology do you get for the same amount of money if you don't count inflation, around the same price?
I don't know. I think the aircon is still cold, right? The coldest in Malaysia, probably in the world.
Oh yeah, there's the new facelift that's been going around the name. I mean, you get safety features, you get ABS and all that now standard.
But yes, you can reverse better. Reverse your car better because you have like that view.
Oh, reverse camera.
Probably like auto park or something like that.
I don't think a Saga would have it.
We're still talking about Saga. Sorry, I'm talking about
new features now. A lot of you see the trend, right? A lot of new cars are going to have auto parking features or
auto brake even.
Auto braking, and that's been a thing for high-end cars in 2017 around that era, where it's only reserved for the highest of the high end. But now it's coming to even economical cars because it's a feature that technically once it trickles down. Usually with technology, you get it from the most expensive side. People who can afford it buy it and they like it, and then people who are more conservative with their money tend to wait, and when they see a product at a lesser price offers the same features as the one they know is more expensive, it entices them to buy the cheaper product. It gives them more value. It feels more valuable. I like that part of technology, of advancement, like when things trickle down from being inaccessible to more accessible by price. But in terms of general technology, I know the battery technology is going to be different. I hear that then people are starting to try non-lithium batteries, like maybe carbon something. So that's enticing because that's something that will benefit my use case, a longer lasting battery. It doesn't matter if I don't take photos with my phone or anything, I still use up battery. So does everyone. So some a technology that would benefit all. That's exciting to me.
Are they still in the research development, or there are actually one or two prototypes out there that have already been utilized?
I mentioned MKBHD again. I think he showed a phone that was using that technology just this year. and it made the phone. I think that's why there are a lot of rumors of slimmer phones coming, which I think defeats the point. I don't want a slimmer phone. I want a phone with a longer lasting battery. I mean, my phone battery is fine, but
I think probably there will become a time where they can detach the screen, just swipe it and then like the screen is here. I think that's
projector.
yeah, something like that. Or I don't know.
bought a projector.
That's fancy, but I don't think from your whatever that you say just now, I think that's what you want. Like, oh,
yeah,
it's
from my
fancy.
use case, yeah, I wouldn't even.
And then
use it.
and after 5 seconds you'll be like, yeah, so what?
Yeah.
So,
I'll turn that off to save battery.
yeah. So I think enough about technology, but I thought that the first time again back to the time that I met you, right? We just I think there's one book that you always repeat again and again at a time.
Is it one book or one author?
Or could be both. that book, that white covered book, right? I think.
The white covered by Haruki Murakami.
Yes, yeah. So I
think it
thought
was Colorless Suturu Tazaki. I think is the title of the name. It was a Japanese version.
Yeah. It's something like because I saw that book somewhere in Popular or whatnot. So it's just not you're getting into tech as well. You're also reading, and because that's like a stereotype. You just play games, you don't read books, because like reading books is actually like a detox to your brain somehow, some way.
Yes, definitely.
And also with the world right now that we have a lot of information that we can get, well, why bother read books that only have a freaking, it's so boring. I mean, if you put it that way, but unless if your imagination is strong, like back to Haruki Murakami, how do you find that books? How do you find that author, and then why you hook with them so much?
Okay, from Haruki Murakami is a well-known author, and he primarily has novels that the ones I'm most interested in are of the Bildungsroman, I believe how you say that genre, where it's young adult coming into adult life, kind the main kind of story. There's a lot of it actually. If you in various forms of media, that kind of structure, and I quite enjoy it because it shows the development of a character and their perspectives as life happens around them. And Murakami does it in a surreal, weird kind of way, but enjoyable and entertaining, and also horny. Because if you actually read the book,
no, I haven't.
Okay, you haven't. Okay.
I don't think I will.
Yeah, Murakami, I enjoyed it. I enjoy his books because he's very Americanized for a Japanese author, because he takes influence. He always writes about music, Western music or Western places. So something you can tend to try relate to more in his weird storytelling way. I do recommend his book, but sometimes a few of the scenes you have to brace yourself.
Okay, so he's like he wrote that in Japanese and it been translated.
Yeah,
or
it is translated
by just right in English.
No, he has a translator, and I can't recall the translator's name off the top of my head. But
don't you think that the delivery is weird? Because I've read a Japanese book one, but that one he wrote it straight from. He's a Japanese and he wrote in English. So, of course, the sentence construction is a little bit weird. Probably he, like, I'm talking in Malay and then I'm writing it in English, so it doesn't make sense. And I need to have the understanding of that literature or whatever culture that they have. Don't you have that same kind of vibe when you first read Murakami's work? Or
none at all. I think that's one of the reasons why Murakami is so popular, because it feels very natural in his in the writing. You feel like you are actually reading. It tends to go over Japanese characters, but the personality and mindset of the characters is very westernized, so it's easy for most people to
Relate.
relate. Yeah, it doesn't. You don't feel. I read a book. I forgot the name of. I think it was in the perspective of a Chinese woman in 19 or is it 1800s.
Mhm.
And well, from reading that book, I forgot the name. I should really remember it. But it's a popular book.
Mhm.
Basically, it goes over the perspective of that Chinese woman growing up during that time, and you could feel there's slight getting used to the culture when you read that. But if you read Murakami, you can feel like it's just a standard. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really standard. I'm saying more, or is in it's westernized in a way that it's
Mhm.
easy to follow. It's
Mhm.
yeah. I
So
mean,
so you just only read like fiction book, or have you ever tried a non-fiction one then?
non-fictions.
Or you're not a
Yeah,
fan of that?
I have. I mean, of course, but it's not something that I pick up for entertainment. I mean, yeah, it does. I find the entertainment in non-fiction being seeing, yes, kind of the same thing, seeing perspective on a topic.
Mm-mm.
If it's about something that I'm either interested to know about or passionate in.
Mhm.
Mm, For me, you mentioned that, right? Reading books can be boring,
Mhm.
which is true, especially now. I find, all platforms have shorts,
Mhm.
where it's hard to maintain focus on a single topic
Yeah.
because you get fed
Yeah.
a lot of
Short
different.
attention span.
Yeah, you're
Something like
getting
that.
short attention. So books are really necessary in training your brain to fight that. Because even I'm not immune to that. Sometimes I doom scroll too.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I find that a week. I mean, if I go a few weeks without reading a book, my vocabulary will diminish quite a bit.
Oh,
And yeah, especially if I just scroll
doom
that sort of
scrolling.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And given how in your working environment, you don't really converse or use difficult
The big words, right? Yeah.
languages to communicate, which is fine. Communication, the most important part is people understanding you, but still, sometimes you want to challenge your brain to
Mm-hmm.
use things that you aren't usually using,
Yeah.
and maybe would more accurately describe the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, reading a book would definitely expand your vocabulary. I mean, depending on the author and the book.
Or you have just go for it for the information. So like for now, do you have like any current readings that you're doing?
Right now,
Yeah. Any ongoing books that you are put in pause?
yeah, on pause definitely. I have a lot on pause.
I have
definitely.
2 on pause. One of it, like, I'm not sure. For me, the last book that I've read fiction was it's so mainstream. Uh, the 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 Goblet of Fire.
Oh wow! Why you
Yeah.
throw back to?
It was
Ah.
so mainstream, man. Plus, it's in Malay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not sure why. And then like my dad's called me, why you read that? Like, you should have not like waste your time reading all that stuff and whatever. But yeah, my sister still reads novel and she likes it. But for me, and then after that, I just not a fan of fiction. I'm more of a non-fiction, and I'm more on the. I mean, I'm currently reading the Gulag Archipelago. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correct. Archipelago.
The Gula,
The Gulag.
the Gulag,
The Gulag, yeah, the
Archipelago.
Gulag. It's a
Okay.
Gulag. Oh, I'm so white. Gulag. Like they pronounce Tupac as Tupac.
Tupac.
Yeah, and then Jay-Z is called him like it's Tupac, man. So yeah, I'm sticking with the Gulag. The Gulag Archipelago, and from I think a Russian author back then Soviet Union, Alexander Solzhenitsyn. I just find it fascinating that the facts that between 1914 till 1940-ish, 60-ish until the death of Stalin, they have this concentration camp like arresting people left and right, just political prisoners, and make them work until they die, and then around 60 to 80 million people die because of that accumulatively. And then it's just been swept under the rug. I'm not trying to like point at things out, but it's just I think it needs to be more well known or mainstream, or I don't know, like whatever. I mean, everybody knows Adolf Hitler, and unanimously agreed as the most evil person in the world history, which I doubt. I mean, if you want to talk about the quantity, the numbers, and then put it side by side. I mean, Stalin kills more, Mao kills more, but why don't you have that person on top of Hitler? Not trying to make them okay. This is a competition: who kills more, who kills less, and you don't care less about them, care more about Mao and whatever communism and whatnot. But it's just fascinating, yeah, because I'm now more towards on like that kind of direction, trying to study history, especially what happens to the war, to um the the politics nowadays, the geopolitical things and everything. I'm not sure if you're a fan of that. I don't think we ever, for the past years that we've ever talked, I don't think we've ever talked about that, right? Or
Yeah,
you're not really a fan to talk
I am a
about
big
it.
fan of history, actually.
Yeah.
History was my best subject.
Oh wow,
Back in school.
that doesn't translate to you. I thought it was like mathematics or something.
Mathematics, yes. At math, no.
Oh wow.
But
Who can say
history,
that, but yes.
history is my favorite because it's basically just you're reading about. Yeah, it's like a book, like a story. You're reading a story, but of things that actually happen. And I think what you're saying about how certain figures are considered more impactful than most is because of it might be recency bias during. Well, I mean, at the time, the media and all that existed.
I mean, they have their own kind of media back then, but yeah. But do you think that I think I still remember during when I was 16 or probably 17 when we want to take like this SPM on the sejarah subject, right?
Yeah.
They don't really mention like the names there. Like they mention the World War II.
Yeah.
But notice that they didn't put the names.
Yeah, they
Who the guy with the
yeah.
funny mustache.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, the Charlie Chaplin or whoever. They don't really put that. Do you think they should be more a little bit, I'm not saying transparent, probably a little bit translucent, and just put like, oh, okay, this figure, and these numbers, just because people say that if you don't know history and then you're bound to repeat it again. And then like why I mean, if history is so bad, so why should you censor it? I'm not saying just to play the video where people kill each other, but it's just saying that, hey, this is the guy, and then go figure. Do you think like a 16, 17 years old teenager at the time have the capacity to understand that and then be like, okay, I want to do the opposite of that and not be, like taking them as heroes or something? do you ever think about that?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
16, 17 years ago, there is definitely going to be a group of my peers that would
support,
embrace
some kind of salute on the way to show. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard the song. I think it's been banned right all over the place. I think I tried to search it on Spotify as well. But yeah, go ahead.
About that. I mean, like you said, it didn't. Our history books didn't specify that deeply about those things. But during our time, I don't know how it is now.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, yeah, we still figured it out. Like we still knew it ourselves. So at least it's not like we're actively censoring information from the public. It's not like we have, you can't find this information anywhere else. I mean, if you want to know, you can still reach out and get it. But to make it mandatory teaching in school, there's a thing. You have to know the average mindset. I mean, everything starts with education. Like how you think, how you approach life starts from school education.
Probably just a spark of it. Just I don't know. I do like the World War section of the history more during our SPM time, because I don't need to remember the Malaysian history was, with all due respect, kind of boring at the time for the syllabus, because I need to understand this is which party and this is what, and then this betrayed this, and then at what year we sign this agreement. Who cares? I mean, I can Google that. So like the World War is much more, because like it's much more, like, I'm not saying violence, but it's like, okay, this guy have conflict with that guy, and then the whole country back him up, and then the whole alliance formed just because of that, and then that impacts the remember Germany after World War One, where they have like a stack of cash because of the hyperinflation. That's crazy, and that's just sparks another conversation about the money that we have right now, the currency that we have tied to US dollar that is not tied to the gold since 1971 when they detached from that, and then now they just tied to oil, and then there's a lot of probability somewhere and how you can manipulate that. That's like the things that I'm like looking to now. And I did have my friend, I think like in previous 2 episodes that's talking about this like gold currency and all. Yeah, it was really fascinating to learn about the world, and then it's just repeating itself again, and then how one countries want to leverage from another, even in terms of technology, right? China is there. I mean, they're already there. They're there since then. But now, let's say if you want to talk about cars, now there's okay, this is like Tesla, and then okay, we're going to do another version much cheaper, and I'm going to win against you. So that's the kind of war that we have right now.
I think that's a good one, because in the end, the consumer
The consumer get it. I mean, like, and then like one accused of another that okay, your phone actually can spy and get like whatever that we have. That's a lot of accusations going on. Have you ever like have a thoughts about that? Do you think that one side is better, or is just both actually wrong, and then you just be like, nah, screw it?
Oh, I love it when companies that it's always advantageous. Even that's why when you ask me Nvidia or AMD, I don't want to give you a straight answer, because I want both companies to try, and by trying I mean make it so more competitive. The market scene, if it's competitive, they're trying their best to give the best product compared to the competitors. The winners are the consumers. Because if a company is so overwhelmingly dominant, they don't have to try. Kind of like what Nvidia is kind of doing now because of the AI boom. Their employees are all millionaires because they have shares in the company. So why would they need to innovate as if they're on the verge of bankruptcy, or if they don't do it, they're gonna die and they don't have a job next month? They are very comfortable. They're very complacent. So a war between companies in that sense, in terms of improving their actual product, improving their services, of course that's a good thing. But in terms of, I don't know, layoff wars.
Laying off people. I mean, even Petronas did, man. I think a lot of companies did. So giants, because their fine is like, I think there's a lot of redundancy in, we can just we can have one staff do three tasks. Yeah, and then in another version we have this technology. They call it. It's not really so much on AI though. It's just like a technology that can replace that, So, I think the world is changing, man. Just a quick one I want to throw that. Are you a fan of whatever Elon Musk trying to do to explore space? Explore Mars, by the way, in specific. Are you a fan of that?
I mean, exploring space. Okay. I always think of why would a company or why would something do something? It's obviously for money. I mean, if you can explore space and maybe
Mars in specific.
Mars.
Yeah, he said in Mars, right?
I mean, to colonize Mars, I don't know. But like, if they want to advance space travel in ways where they could just pluck meteors for gold or resources, so they don't have to mine the Earth for resources, I mean, that's fine. Of course, I mean, nobody's using it up there.
A good one.
But like to colonize Mars, I don't know. I mean, some people still don't have homes here in
There's one song from I think from Damian Marley from one of the song Patience. I think I'll send it to you later. There's one of the lyrics that occupied the moon and then I forgot because he's rhyming, right? Occupied the moon and then you forget that to feed us starving tummies or something like that. Yeah. And then so yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's been doing, but he shot to the top of popularity poll for the past three years, right? And then like what he's been doing with Tesla, is so proud of it. I mean, understandable. And also like the SpaceX and change Twitter to X. Come on, man. People still call it Twitter. But I don't know, you see this as something like kind of a I'm not sure people can accuse him of a lot of things, but the good thing is people are thinking of the possibilities of are we really going to do it rather than just sketching it. Okay, we are going to live here, here, and there. Now, when things get okay, now how do we want to live in this kind of atmosphere? I mean, it must have no atmosphere at all. And then what? So yeah, I think that we need that, but not to the extent that we need to forget people on Earth that still have no home, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been following Elon since I think around 2017. Back then, he wasn't as much of a troublemaker as he is.
Yeah. I think they have beef with Trump now. I'm not sure if it's.
Oh yeah. I'm not up to date. So with him colonizing Mars, yeah, like you say, I mean, funny you mentioned a song. I also thought of a song. I think it was by Lizard Gizzard.
You always have unique one, Lizard Gizzard.
It's the song is like the Planet B, and it's basically just going over that there is no Planet B, so take care of Planet A, which is Earth.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a strong message. Man. Is it a rapper? Or what?
I know it's. I think it's like a metal band or something.
Still remember the what you call it, Rage Against the Machine back then, trying to go against the like whoever it is, authority or whatever. So yeah, talking about music, I think it surprised me back then. Remember when we still have Facebook, and then we have like messages each other, right? And then like I just got to know that you're a fan of Kendrick.
Oh,
remember?
what?
I think it's circa 2017-ish.
Yeah, I was listening to Kendrick back when he dropped Pimp a Butterfly.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
Even
2016 right then?
No, I think it was 15 somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he's like your entrance for hip hop or
to hip hop? No, I would say the mainstream entrance. If I were to have been known about him, it would have been before I got into like hip hop. Of course, I think the mainstream person that brought me into hip hop was Eminem because that was what was on the radio.
Yes, sorry.
Spotify wasn't as big back then. But I've always been. I think I've been subscribed to Spotify since 2014.
Yeah, I still remember.
Right?
Yeah, I still remember.
So yeah, it was a gradual exposure, and I quite like how he plays with the music and rap. To Pimp a Butterfly. I mean, to this day, you can listen to that and don't feel it aging at all. Of course, Damn is a banger, and from what has happened in the past few years, is back on top with the whole Not Like Us.
Oh yeah, the big video.
That was such a fun. When was that? It was last year, June?
Yeah. I haven't get the chance to follow the beef though. What is it all about? Do you follow it or?
Yeah, I do. I didn't. I mean, like yeah. Basically, what happened was at first last year, Drake, and you know how the hip hop community is. There's the ones who like Kendrick, and those who like Kendrick are usually they praise J. Cole as well.
Yeah.
The conscious rappers, you say.
Yeah. Lil
And,
Wayne probably, if you want to throw it at.
yeah.
Mm.
And there are those who like, I mean, Drake and the more, how do you say, what kind of genre is Drake?
I don't know. He's everywhere, man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
I'm not sure he's even rapping anymore.
yeah, he's kind of a singer as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so okay, what happened was that Drake collabed with J. Cole,
Mm-hmm.
and in that J. Cole said, "Who is the big three? Is it Aubrey, Kendrick, or me? Aubrey is Drake's name."
Mm-hmm.
So and then Kendrick,
Took offense on that.
I mean, he's been silent after dropping his. I think it was slightly after. I think during the pandemic. Mr. Morale, that album, which commercially didn't perform as big as Damn, because Damn was a very commercially crafted album, meaning one that would make him more radio friendly. Not really radio friendly, I mean more mainstream approved
Yeah.
compared to Pimp a Butterfly. But then yeah, he went on a. But it's not really a hiatus. He still popped up a lot in Baby Keem's, his cousin's music, and then suddenly when Future came out with an album last year, Kendrick Lamar was a feature in one of the songs where he just straight out said that screw your big 3, it's just big me. He's
yeah.
So that sparked, because people haven't heard from Kendrick in a while, and when people heard that, it was like, okay, shots were fired.
Yeah.
And Drake and J. Cole both responded to Kendrick. J. Cole, I remember saying that Kendrick's latest album was flop. Some of his albums prior weren't as big as they are talked about to be. And Drake just saying that he's more gangster.
He too, it means him
Drake,
more gangster than Kendrick. I mean, that's so typical
how
shot.
Drake step in with size 6 men's on or something. Yeah, but he shoe shots.
Yeah.
It's funny, like all the bars that like you have to imagine the headspace for the hip hop community at the time. We haven't heard from Kendrick in a while, in a few years. And suddenly, this is something that from out of nowhere he came to take shots at basically at the big 3, and all 3 of them are engaged in the duel, in the beef. So, but in the end, I mean, because a lot of the fan base between J. Cole and Kendrick tend to mesh. They kind of
overlap each other.
overlap each other. So J. Cole apologized for the reply, and that was the end of that one. But Drake continued on, and people have always been either your camp people who listen to Drake and camp people who don't listen to Drake.
Yeah.
So when this happened, people had their own team to support, and some of the people were rooting for someone to try and have a rap battle, a beef again because of what Pusha T did in 2018.
Story of Adidon. Oh wow!
I love that. Race.
At first I was like, damn.
Drake is dissing Pusha T about him always talking about selling illegal substances. And then Pusha T comes back and says, "You are hiding a child."
Yeah, and then the people want to know. That's. I think that's one of the main reasons that you could win a beef. Other than the good bars and all. Yeah. And then feels like, and then you tell stories that you actually have kids, and then people will be like, "What?"
Yeah, but you're hiding it. So that's really good. That was such a good kick.
But was it really true though?
It was Adonis is Drake's child. Now, of course, after the whole
he came out from hiding.
Yeah,
was like, "Hi, Dad."
Yeah.
My God.
Even in the
Kendrick, Pusha knows, man.
Of course, they know each other. Everyone knows in that industry, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was such a good reveal and such a bomb to drop. And I remember during this B phase last year, where Kendrick, I mean, it was so fun because imagine, okay, I'm a working man.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the middle of a Tuesday, and then suddenly I see 10 minutes ago, Kendrick Lamar uploaded something on his YouTube. It's a diss track.
Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow is another diss track. There were barely any gaps between the days
Yeah.
of the disses, and they were all like top quality diss records at such a short span of time.
Mm-hmm.
Given how starved for Kendrick content people were at the time, so yeah, it was very exciting. Just
In some ways, yes. Thank you, Drake, for waking up the beast.
yeah, for
You know,
letting him
where's his energy for the album? Oh, thank you. We got to bangers. All right, now you can go back hibernate and whatnot. But yeah, that's so because I think like hip hop that's like one essential of hip hop, right? I mean, it's originated from from the you can say from the streets and whatever, but it's just main part of it fundamentally is about battling each other, and like now, I mean, from time to time, people still take shots for Eminem for I don't know why they go. I mean, with all due respect, I don't think like there's still a rapper. I don't know about Kendrick though, but Head or Alive. Well, no, I mean that's still alive. I mean, in this era, I can say that can go toe to toe, even though he's old. I think that if you want to beat him, you need someone like Nas, someone like like the guy from the 90s. I don't know, man.
the old school guys. I mean, okay. Let me humor me this. Do you think Eminem's new stuff is better than his old stuff?
I'm a fan of hip hop, but I'm not a fan of one. I'm not a fan of Eminem. I'm sorry to say this.
Oh, you're not?
No, you're not.
Oh.
I'm not because for me, when you listen to M, people listen to M because of his wordsmiths, and he have a good voice.
Yeah,
I think like I put it neck and neck with Jay. I like his voice.
Okay.
But listening to M, if you listen to his song, and then like a few buffer songs, like I don't know, like ballad ke apa benda, probably traditional metal, and then back to his song, then that you can vibe. If you listen the whole track from 0 to I don't know how many, by track 4 I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why. And I was like, compare this to Illmatic, compare this to even 50 Cents.
Yeah, definitely. 50 years.
Rich, hard trying, get rich or die trying. Yeah. Some of them Big Pun, Immortal Tech, even a Biggie. It's not that. No, I'm not a fan of that. So, and like his substance also, I'm not a fan of his substance. But I tried to listen to, of course, I tried to listen to his big work, Slim Shady LP, MMLP, and all, and like found bangers, and then it was like the lines are witty, but I haven't listened to new stuff that has been criticized. Like I think Relapse, and what are the one more album that people criticize him for other than Relapse. I'm not sure. I think like the one, the political one after he dissed Trump or something.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I forgot that era. I haven't actually. I'm in the same boat. I haven't listened to him after. Relapse or Recovery. I think
he's good, but it's just I don't know. It's just not for me lah. I'm not saying that he's. I mean, he's top. You can say top 3, top 2 for wordsmiths. He can run Orange with Door Hinge and then whatnot. But there's more on that. Like there's like how you. There's a lot of aspects that you want to put in terms of that. I don't want to speak in rubbish, but like I'm not sure if you ever listen and read and follow the lyrics of Rakim. It was like out of this world. that when he talks about planet, he talks about how great he is and all this substance is really, there's no one doing that. And then like you go to the underground, like Immortal Technique, rapping about politics and all, and be like, and then like there's a message here and there about whatever happened during the Bush administration, while incorporated in rap and hip hop, and then it be like, this is wow. I don't think I can listen to anyone other than that. But M stuff, rather than for the wordsmith and witty rhyme, witty wordplay, nah, I'm just not a fan of him. So I've been running around the bush. So yeah, I didn't listen to his whatever new works. So yeah.
Same.
What do you think he's like, for you like, he's a top 5, top 3?
I can't do that because I find that my taste in music has evolved
Changed,
over time. Back when I was into, when you said how did I know Kendrick Lamar, the answer is simple. The answer is GTA 5. He's in the radio all the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't play GTA 5, but yeah.
That's also how I discovered my current favorite podcast / rapper,
Who?
Danny Brown.
You always have a unique encounter or something.
He does. He's my main podcast person at the moment. I mean, he has been for ever since he made the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm also quite biased because he's team friends with me. So
yeah,
I'm friends, on Steam with him. He's a gamer. He likes JRPGs a lot, like Persona and Final Fantasy. I really want him to play Clair Obscur, the new RPG, but I don't think he has.
Drop him a message, man. Drop him a message. Hey, why don't we collab, man?
Okay, buy it, bro. Buy it. Why don't you, young Malaysian guy, buy me a $1 million rapper a game on Steam? Like, imagine the context of
Oh,
that.
you can make it a headline. You can make it like, I bought a rapper, and you know. Yeah.
I mean, music. Okay, yeah. I used to be really into rap for the, like you say, maybe the wordplay or
It's a witty line.
yeah, witty lines or bars. But yeah, now I still like bars. But now I find that I listen to things or to rap that is. I just like how different it sounds compared to what I've been always listening to for the past decade or so.
Okay.
So right now, my constant people that I'm seeing are JPEG and Danny Brown, of course. But he hasn't. I think he has a new album coming out soon. But yeah, not yet. But sometimes he does a lot of singles with other people. It's interesting to hear his voice. I mean, my wife finds it weird because he likes to rap in that high pitch, kind of like old school rap kind of sound.
High pitch.
Yeah.
It's like who?
Who would
be the closest?
Who's high pitch? That's
high pitch will just shout like the old school
high pitch shouting.
Oh.
Yeah, but sometimes he does have songs where he just raps lower, lower tone. That's why I like him. He experiments a lot with his voice.
What is substance about? What did he rap about? Like just a normal stuff, or just brag how good he is, or just about money, or just about political things, or
not really. He just talks about what he talks about. I mean, his latest album Quaranta he made during the quarantine.
Quaranta
means 40 in Spanish.
Oh.
Because he started getting big in hip hop when he was 30, which is a slightly older age for an artist to start in hip hop. So one of his first big albums was Triple X, which is 10, 10, 10, so 30. So after 10 years of him pursuing the rap career, he dropped Quaranta when he turned 40. And in that album, it's a bit more mature in tone. He goes over what he's been through for the past 10 years, what his life has been like the kind of people he's been seeing, his lifestyle, all that. It's quite brilliant, actually. I like it. It's also quite fun. I like there's the song called Jen's Terrific Vacation, which is a play on gentrification.
Yeah.
Jen's Terrific
Jen's
Vacation.
Terrific
Vacation.
Vacation.
Meaning Jen is having a blast vacationing at a spot, but that spot essentially has been gentrified.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Just do a play right there. What did he talk about gentrification or?
I mean, yeah, he goes over like his old house back in Detroit, like the old area he used to hang used to be a crack house, and now it's an olive garden.
Such good stuff. Yeah. Imagine that you're going to like isolated in an island for like 1 month, and you can just only listen to 3 albums of hip hop.
Oh, hip hop? No, why do you have?
No. I need to limit that because I only know hip hop. I mean, that's the only common denominator that we have.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what's your go to? I mean, it's going to be hard because it's album. Because there's a lot. Like for me, Capital Punishment, Big Pun. See, that's a lot. Good Lord. Lie and Thief, Diabolic. Probably Revolutionary Volume 2, Immortal Technique. But if you ask me, but if you ask me again next month, I think my answer will be changed.
Yeah.
Music is always. So yeah. Just for tonight, what's your?
My 3. On an island. If I'm on an island for a month or 2, I would.
Only for a month, but just 3 albums.
These 3 won't be like necessarily my top favorite. I think it's mostly what has a lot of listening potential, like replayability or
true.
variation.
Something that you can listen over and over again. Yeah.
It'd be Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. GNX. I don't know if it's recency bias. GNX by Kendrick.
Oh,
because
I need to listen to that. I haven't listened to it yet.
What else would I bring that would make? Oh yes, Carrying the Hose by JPEG and Danny Brown. On an island, that'd be my 3. But I mean, I'm not saying that they're my favorite. I'm just humoring your hypothetical of being on an island.
Humoring your hypothetical. That's not really a big word, but yeah. I think we have half an hour left. Yeah. So just one more hypothetical questions that you might entertain that I asked from my previous guest. Do you believe in alien?
Alien?
Yeah.
In alien life?
Like, I mean, even let's say even a microbe living in Jupiter or whatever, that counts as alien.
Yeah.
Because it's living. But you believe that there's an alien out there?
I mean, alien in terms of you're saying basically any sign of life.
Yeah, any signs of life. Not just an intelligence.
Big eye, green eye. Okay, I mean, in that sense, statistically, I mean, you have to go with. I mean, you kind of hope so, or you
kind of hope so. Why do I need to hope so?
I mean,
like they're going to pay my tax or what?
Who knows? Maybe they can multiply and give you free money. I mean, to that extent. I mean, you don't know. I mean, imagine if we are the only things in the solar system. It's kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's also a lot of theories about why we could be the first, or we are too insignificant that people are things are ignoring us and all that. But that question, so I
you haven't thought about that?
Of course I have, and I generally lean towards statistically it would make sense that we aren't. It's just that either we haven't discovered or been discovered, or maybe we have. Maybe I'm an alien. Have you been to the bottom?
Bro, in that sense, kind of, man. Because one of my friends said that we have already in contact. I mean, probably I don't know what he's smoking back then, but we're probably in contact, and it's just the government hide it. And then I asked, like, why would the government hide it? I mean, I mean, the government can only do something like based on, if it's profitable. And what is profitable about hiding an alien? Like, you cannot, like, why you want to hide it? I'm not sure. Same goes with like moon landing. Like, people say it's fake and whatnot, and I'm not sure, like, because conspiracy theory has been proof is just not theory. Like, for the past 5 years, they've been winning a lot. So I'm not sure about the moon though. Are you sure about the moon? I mean, because I think they send people to the moon with 64 kilobytes of RAM back then.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of like crazy to think about. Don't you think it's just?
I mean, it was the
Or-
limitation of the time.
Yeah, but still,
They
how
make-
could you? How could it?
As in,
makes
like,
happens.
I mean, if it was possible to do that back then,
Mhm.
and you're asking why we're not doing it now with
Mhm.
how advanced we are,
Mhm.
because there was nothing to do. That whole moon race thing was a
It's
like
been
you
with the
say-
Soviet and
Yeah, it's a war. Everything
It's a
actually war.
yeah. I just want to one up you or something like that, because they send Yuri Gagarin to the
Yeah.
space. Like, rotate there
Yeah,
for I don't know how many times, and then they just send Neil Armstrong and
yeah, we can.
Was-
They can touch the moon and come back, which is something they can hold over. I mean, it's an arms race. Like the goalpost kept moving. Okay,
Mhm.
first person to on space, first person on the moon. So I mean, war, as bad as it is, it tends to be the main factor of advancement. I mean, just look at the Axis powers. If you're in the car industry,
Mhm.
which countries are known for their best cars?
Could argue Germany.
Okay, Axis of power,
Um, Japan for reliability,
Axis of power.
and then just for the cultures, probably Italy.
Yes, all three of them.
Wow.
Good.
I never noticed this common denominator, man. Wow. Yo.
They.
I mean, Jaguar sucks.
Well, I mean, hey, isn't Jaguar UK?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I mean, that's the
yeah.
alliance, I think.
Yeah, the main bad guys of the war were those three, and they're considered the top car maker
Not the
nations.
BMW, Porsche. What else do you really have? French have stupid Peugeot. Is that I pronounce it correct? But yeah.
Renault, Peugeot, yeah.
Renault.
War advances technology because you do or die in that context. So your engineers, you shove tons of money into R&D and actually advance it. That's how the internet was born.
Yeah. I think that the first user of internet was
For military.
Yeah, for the military use. So I'm not sure how far the technology that they have now before they decided to I think we've passed that. Okay, let's give it to the public.
Yeah.
That's going to be so scary, man.
I mean, now it's drone warfare.
Yeah.
Imagine okay, in World War One and World War Two, how shell shock someone would be in the middle of war.
Yeah.
Now you have to deal with drones, suicide bombing you, just flying to you. How do you dodge that? Imagine that as an individual person on the floor. It's scary. Yeah, it is very scary. But that's just how war tends to. I remember. I forgot who said it. I said one way to stop war is to make it not profitable.
True.
Yeah, well,
True. It's just profitable to the like private companies, like huge, like I mean, like Boeing also have that, like they supply the aircraft and whatnot, and there's a lot of other. I forgot. There's like a few, 2, 3 of it that I've memorized previously, but I forgot. But man, did you see the speed of that ballistic missile from Iran last week? Oh my god, that was so fast, so fast. It was like crazy, and it was like hypersonic one. It's just the one that flew first, and like 20 seconds later, where you can hear the sounds. So crazy, man. And I mean, in somehow, some way, it's just sad because we push the technology to that kind of advancement. They're still advancing because they need to one up another, right? So they can't be stuck between just a normal bomb carrier and just drop, just that, and it will be shot down.
Yeah.
It's not going to be work. But rather than that, to put that into like better life or something, I think like putting a better life for us is not profitable. So it was like doing ala kada aja. I don't know. Yeah. Damn it, man.
It made me think of a meme actually while we were talking about it's basically a factory worker working at a Mitsubishi factory making, how Japan's Mitsubishi started making airplanes,
Mhm.
and then suddenly they're now making washing machines.
I heard that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think I read it somewhere. I'm not sure in a written form or yes. Yeah. But that's a lot. That's a lot if to change. Even though Xiaomi now have cars.
Yeah, I mean,
That's crazy, man.
and it's their first car.
Red Bull in F1, and I mean, that's like several years ago, but still.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's still. I think they're using Honda as a engine.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Xiaomi for a first time car maker. From what I've seen people say about their cars, it's very impressive for a company's first attempt at a car. Meaning, of course,
This is electric car, though?
I think it is. I think
Okay.
most of the things are electric now. What is your opinion about electric?
Oh my god. If it's not forced upon us, then I'm right. Force is when I say it's force is like one of it is like buying EV. You don't need to you will not be taxed, and then it's just the way that the government force you is like, okay,
Force or incentivize, you mean?
somehow some way, if just pulling all the like making it harder to own a petrol car
Oh,
rather than EV cars. You
Uh-huh.
know, that I can put in a force category. Incentivize that. There's like a gray line that we can put there. To help people to moving on to like better technology and whatnot. But until they fix the charging and everything, that suddenly the car meletup or whatever, I don't know for what reason. So I think I'm going to stick with it. But I think like the only person that against that and still repeating the facts, not facts, it's just opinion, that the future is hybrid is Mr. Toyota.
Oh,
Yeah, Toyota. I mean, like the whole
Yeah,
the owner,
I
the
mean-
belakang semua nama-nama lain, Toyota. Now the Mr. Toyota now, repeating what dia punya predecessor says, dia punya ancestor say that the future is hybrid. It's not EV, it's not petrol, it's hybrid. So that's why they're sticking with that, and they are not jumping into the EVs. That, as far as I know, I'm not sure if they just change their policy or whatever.
Yeah, I do think Toyota does have a full EV. Lexus might. Does Lexus?
Yeah.
Lexus definitely does have a full EV.
I think Lexus is just a Western Toyota, no?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a higher, more expensive.
Yeah, which is I don't want to buy Toyota, but I want a Toyota, and then let's give a Lexus.
Yeah.
Would you buy
I
an
want-
EV car though?
I want, huh?
Would you buy an EV car? Would you?
Buy?
Yeah, suddenly I don't know. Like in the future, you plan on?
Not really. I mean, it depends on. I mean, okay, I'm. If I have a housing system where I could charge my EV at home, that convenience alone could get me to buy one. But it also depends on how much range can I go on a single charge.
Can you get you from here to Nibong Tebal?
Yeah, and when I am in Nibong Tebal, do I need to charge before I could get back?
Yeah.
So I mean, charging structure. I mean, even Nibong Tebal has a EV charger now. In CMAT because I went back for Raya Korban hari tu. There's a EV charger and no one was there using it. I mean, maybe if that's because not many people are riding EV. I mean, there's a lot more than compared to, let's say, 5 years ago. But yeah, the charging infrastructure outside is the main hurdle, I think. About imagine Malaysia is a country filled with festival holidays. And whenever we balik kampung, we really balik kampung.
Yeah,
The
and the
whole-
whole if it's Indian holiday, it's our holiday.
Yeah,
It's our holiday,
shared.
it's the Indian holiday. Yeah.
So imagine the already packed R&Rs with electronic charging. If each car needs to take at least, this is a generous amount, 15 minutes to charge. At least, you know, I
at
mean, in real life, it's probably around 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
Imagine if everyone has that.
yeah, the
So the
queue-
infrastructure has to be upgraded first.
Yeah.
But if you're living in Klang Valley, your house has charging. You can go home and plug in your car.
Mhm.
That's very convenient. And when you're in a traffic jam, you don't have to worry about things you have to worry about in a petrol car. Like maybe the gas station is far away or something.
Mhm.
With an EV car, if you're in a jam, it doesn't drain your battery as high as it would idling a petrol engine.
Mm.
But I don't know. I remember last time when I read this up, a lot of condos are afraid of putting EV chargers due to fire concerns
Yeah.
caused with bomba.
Mhm.
I remember we were basically copying what Singapore does, and then our fire department said something to put on hold, and then I don't think it's been pursued much.
Mhm.
But now since our national brands are putting out EVs, maybe that would be the
Yeah.
kick that would need. Yeah, if it's convenient for people and to charge, the convenience.
Yeah.
EV comes from convenience, but I also love the fact that maintenance wise,
Oh yeah.
the schedule will be a lot more gapped.
Yeah.
If you compare it to the 6 months or 10,000 kilometers of
Yeah.
a petrol car.
But if you change battery thing, it will cost you around 30,000 or something, right?
Yeah, but battery.
What was it like? What, once every 10 years? Can I say 10 years?
Yeah,
or is it
10
too
10 would
stretch?
be a good estimation with how battery technology has advanced so far. I think 10's are good
Mm.
because usually back then, even with hybrids, 8 to 10 years is
Mm.
when you're going to expect to change your battery pack. But yeah, that's one thing. But what Prodo is trying to do with their Emo 2, I believe they're calling it, is that the battery pack is a subscription, or I mean, it's not tied into the price of the car. Meaning, Prodo owns the battery. So if the battery dies, they are the one that owns it. So they would be in charge of replacing and repairing, managing the battery.
With no
Basically,
cost.
I believe it's maybe it's not announced yet.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe it's a subscription based on if you subscribe to this, you get a bigger battery you could swap out. So that would seem like, oh no, you're adding more fees monthly, right? But it cuts the cost of the car because of the expensive battery, which people are fearing about. Oh, you need to replace the battery. They're doing this so that you don't. You just go to Prodo and change, like you change AA batteries at 7-Eleven. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, see, they're experimenting. They're trying to see what sticks.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, will I go out and buy an EV?
Probably want to wait 5 years, see how
wait and see things. Everything with technology there's never been it's never been advantageous for you to rush to get the latest technology.
Yeah.
If you give it time, companies will refine it, make it better. It's not like limited paintings or antiques or something. You're not gonna miss out. Like a lot of people try to bank on, people feel like they're missing out if they don't get the latest. But yeah, if you wait, you can get the advantage by just seeing how far it goes, and if you think that it satisfies your needs at the time, then try it. Of course, if everyone waits, nobody buys.
Then there's no feedback to like develop and research from.
So it's a balance. If you can afford it and you think that how it is currently would benefit you, then try it.
So that's essentially for all I can say technology things.
Yeah.
You just need to be patient.
Oh, definitely. The more patient you are, the more you benefit.
Yeah, and I like talking to people that who have already owned this. Like you own Pixel, and I was considering one too, but I'm not sure. I'm going to change this. I think for the next 2 years.
What do you? Okay, this is the salesman in me talking. Okay.
Oh, Jeff. Oh, you won't get a penny out of me, man. I don't have even 4 figures in my bank account left.
What do you use your phone for? What's the
Oh.
main point of a phone?
I think it's the same of you, except I played Fate Grand Order inside, but it's not like
Oh, wow. I gotcha game.
no, it's like bro. You introduced me to the Fate world.
Yeah, I do. But I haven't played the games.
Okay. It's not really a gacha game.
Okay.
I'll send you a screenshot later on. You probably could go.
But is it demanding on the
No, not really. Not really. No.
I mean, okay.
Other than that, it's just a normal stuff, WhatsApp, and I do reply fast. Just YouTube things, location maps, Spotify. That's all. Nothing, and all the other.
Are you dissatisfied with your phone currently?
It's just the battery. I'm not sure why. It's just not that good since the first time I bought it.
Oh, ever since the beginning, it's not because it's degraded.
No, it's not. I mean, of course, now it's 3 years been degraded far worse, than the first time I bought it.
Yeah.
Like when the first time I bought it, it feels like, kenapa sekejap sangat, and it feels like something's wrong. But yeah, for the price, like 659 ringgit, because I vow to myself I won't spend 4 digit for single phone, but probably in case of if I want to get a Pixel, I need to spend more.
Yeah, I mean, it depends unless you want to go for the same model that I do.
How much it cost now?
It's fine. Maybe this year, I think around the same price as your phone, maybe 600. Maybe, I mean, on the top end, 7.
Ooh.
I mean, on average, if you're scouring Facebook Marketplace all the time, maybe 500.
What is it going to be for the next 2 years?
Huh?
How much is going to be for the next 2 years? Because sometimes
Pixel prices go down way faster than other phones.
Why?
I'm not sure. I mean, this has been the case since, prior to the Pixel 9 actually officially joining Malaysia. But it's always been the case where if a Pixel phone comes out in September or October, by January or February, the price has gone down by 400. That's how it used to be. With 9, I think they had more staying power because of how beautiful 9 is designed.
Okay.
And it's officially joined. Coming to the market new. So there's people buying new. I think that made the price kind of solid, but still, Google likes to give Christmas promos and all that, so prices still go down. But yeah, if you're looking for a Pixel 5, yeah, you can get it under. Secondhand, of course, not new.
So that's the only thing that I'm using now for the phone. So like for 2 years, the salesman in you say, what is the best phone that I could have?
I'm not as well versed in phones because I barely use mine, so I don't really. I only just sometimes get up to date with maybe the major models, but a lot of phones now, especially the entry ones, have big batteries like 4,000, 5,000 milliamps. That is a lot of battery life, but. For me, when I look at those phones, I still want those features like wireless charging, things that I use that I find convenient because I just want to put it on my car's dashboard, easily set and forget.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. That's why there are not just 1 or 2 phones. There's dozens, hundreds of different models and brands, and they all could survive because they all offer slightly different variation of something where you have to pick and choose what is most important to you.
Yeah, that's a good thing about Android as well, because you can only use it for up to 5 years, and then be like, it's like every single 5 years I have like this new experience. Same thing that we talked about cars earlier, right? About tires, changing tires.
Oh yeah.
And the next time I want to try Yokohama, and then next I want to try Michelin, Pirelli, and then you drive 80 on the left side.
Yeah, on the left side while listening to music while listening to podcasts.
Yeah, Pirelli in front and Toyo at the back. So, it's just a like. It's a good thing. I mean, as a user, there's always like options. Options is like the best thing that we could ever have. It's not like one single body that that monopolize all. Same goes with Touch and Go. Listen, man. I mean, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I mean, we haven't touched a lot of things yet, so yeah, I think 2 hours is not enough.
Yeah,
2 hours is not enough, and you've quote unquote taught me a lot because I've learned a lot from you in terms of still remember that you installed me 99 back then when I have like like the laptop that always
that has been my
go to
whenever a family member or friends ask me to what's wrong with my computer. Okay, let me update everything.
All the softwares and with my not so up to date laptop till now I have PCs, and then it introduced me to Google.
You have a PC now?
Yeah, I do have. I bought with Akil.
When?
It was like 2020.
So last time I met you, you had a PC. I thought you said you quit gaming.
Yeah, that's because I broke up. No, I'm back, man. I want to be Supreme Commander, and I want to try back. And and then there's a lot of things. Even in anime, you like Steins Gate, thanks to you. Fate Zero.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. I haven't watched anime in so long.
Damn.
I mean, new ones. Have you?
Nah, not really, because I don't think I could relate anymore to the especially like the shonen one yang lawan-lawan tu, so whatever. I'm just more on the slice of life. Kalau even yang tu pun just watch the old school one that's still ongoing. As Bleach is still there.
Technically
Bleach is just on our generation, but the new one I'm done. Yeah, I'm just more on a YouTube guy from now. Really watching conspiracy theories. One, listen, man, it's a and I haven't even talked about that yet. I haven't talked about the monetary fund system and whatnot, and we have been deceived. All right, man. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, if I invite you again.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about anime. So,
wow, I'm sure
like I think at the time we'll be like 30 years old already. Just listen to these two old grandpas talking about his time, his anime on the early 2000s. All right, that's all. Thank you everyone for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you finish your in one go.